Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's Maurice back again with another video, and today we will be talking about my man Iceman, Mr. Bobby Drake himself. This is one of the heroes that's getting released in this new expansion that's coming out, Age of Apocalypse. So that one is coming in with both Magic and Bishop as the heroes within that set. Man, I don't even think I did a video on them now that I think about it. Your boy is slacking. But today we're doing Iceman, so maybe I'll just go back and make another video before that set comes out, just to kind of get my thoughts on those two. But we're here to talk about Iceman today, so I'll go through the cards that Fantasy Flight has presented in this particular article, announcing him and showing off what he's got. So let's see what my man is hitting for. So we got Mr. Bobby Drake, 4 recovery, which is pretty good. Hand size 6, hit points 11. So he's in that range for me where some of the stronger OP heroes kind of reside, where they normally have like that 4 recovery, probably 12 hit points, sometimes 11. 6 hand size is pretty normal in the game. But that is a telltale sign to me that he's probably going to be strong. But let's get into it. So Bobby Drake begins the game with 6 frostbite upgrades set aside. So I guess we'll get into that a little bit later just to see what it is. But we know we got 6 of them. And his ability, cool off response. After you change to this form, shuffle 1 ice card from your discard pile into your deck for each copy of Frostbite in play. So we'll go through the cards that they present, see how many of them are ice cards, and see kind of how good this alter ego ability will be. So I'd imagine probably all of his cards are ice, but we'll see. So here we go with the Frostbite. So it's an upgrade that you can dish out whenever triggered. So it's a permanent. Attached enemy gets -1 scheme and -1 attack. Always good. That's actually really good. Force response. After attached enemy activates or leaves play, set this card aside. So you toss it on them. They activate. It goes off after the activation, if they activate, right? So this is something you can stick on somebody and probably stun and confuse lock, depending on the villain that it is. Because sometimes, we know Marvel champions, they have been creating some villains that makes it a little hard to stun and confuse lock. So it's nice that we have this second option of some kind of villain control where we're manipulating the numbers that they have instead of forcing them to be stunned or confused, because that was kind of broken. Shout out to my man Captain America. So here go the hero side for Iceman. He's a 1/2/2, which is pretty standard. Got freeze. Interrupt. When Iceman makes a basic attack or defense against an enemy, attach a set aside copy of Frostbite to that enemy. So basic attack or defense. Okay. So it's whenever he activates, he can do that. Yeah, because that would have been broken if you could just spam attacks and defenses and just forcing people to to just consistently have Frostbite. And it doesn't say that it doesn't stack. So that was another thing. I'm not sure. I may have to go through and reread the article, but it's interesting that it doesn't stack. So if you can just trigger this several times on one particular villain, especially somebody like Venom who can, or Ronin even, that can knock your block off in one activation, like that, that helps you stick around for another turn or something like that. But that's not too bad. Like I like that. It's a way for you to kind of build a deck towards activating on multiple times in one round, right? Whether if it's attacking multiple times or defending multiple times across the table, it kind of encourages you to be able to build something around him. Because with him having 2 defense and with the defensive cards that's in this game right now, it's very easy to block the villain quite a bit and quite handily. So this is a really good way to encourage focusing more on the activation of things than kind of cheesing your way into into a particular victory. I like that. Okay, let's see what we got. 3 cost upgrade, frozen solid, hero form only, attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. When attached enemy would activate, discard frozen solid instead. Then attach or set aside a copy of frostbite to that enemy. That's super nice. It's almost like webbed up a little bit, but it allows you to be able to take away an activation and then on their next activation have some reduced stats. So I like that. That's really good value for a 3 cost upgrade. And it's an ice card, so that's one of the ones you can bring back into the fold when you go into alter ego. Let's see, ice wall. When an identity would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, place that damage here instead. Then, if there is at least 8 damage here, discard this card and attach a set aside copy of frostbite to that enemy that just attacked. So this is really good. So this is, I've come to appreciate these cards quite a bit. I can't remember who was the first villain that started with this. Can't remember if it was Rhino or Crossbones or somebody that have a similar card to this where you're just dumping damage into an upgrade until it goes away, which kind of, I won't say make your hand a dead hand, but it reduces the effectiveness of what you could do in a turn, and this kind of brings it back. Because I love that Jean Grey have this as well, Phoenix. So this is one of my favorite kind of cards in the game, where you have something that can kind of mitigate a ridiculous turn that's coming up, because it's not that it just reduces or takes in 8. If somebody about to hit you for 13, that whole 13 goes there, and then this card goes away, right? So it's kind of nice to soak up some damage from some of those hard-hitting villains that could literally one-shot you in a turn. So it's nice to have something like this. And it's ice, so there's that. We got the 2 cost event of Arctic Attack. It's an attack ice card, superpower, their focus. Hero action is an attack, so you can either deal 4 damage to an enemy and attach a set aside copy of frostbite to it. Very good value on that. And then deal 6 damage to an enemy with frostbite attached. So you can either throw salt in the wound or create the wound yourself, so to speak, where you're dealing 4 damage, which 2 for 4 is pretty decent. Or maybe average. Maybe that's more average in Marvel Champions, but then to be able to set a copy of frostbite onto an enemy is kind of nice, especially if you're running something like protection with Iceman, where it makes that perfect defense a lot easier for you. So you can use something like Indomitable or Unflappable, Dauntless, to be able to kind of trigger those things. Or if you're going aggression and trying to get the enemy up out of there, it's a way for you to take a little bit less damage on each attack, which is kind of nice. Or you could just straight up do 2 for 6, which is really good in Marvel. I know that is a good ratio. And it's ice, so you can use an alter ego ability on it. Then we got the 3-cost event, Ice Blast, so another ice superpower. Hero action, choose a player, attach a set aside copy of frostbite to the villain, and each minion engaged with that player deal 3 damage to each enemy with the copy of frostbite attached. So this is super nice because it's a card that scales extremely well. Because I mean, 3 for 3 in a frostbite is kind of okay, but whenever you have multiple minions that are in the game, that's a lot of damage, especially if it's a lot engaged with one person, right? When you have somebody like Thor that is consistently pulling in villains like it's no tomorrow, minions like it's no tomorrow, that's 3 damage that you can line up on a ton of minions, and it opens up the opportunity for him to be able to just knock them all off as he go along building up his hand, right? So this is a really good card that scales extremely well, and it allows you to distribute more frostbite, so that allows you to be able to shuffle in more cards into your deck whenever you use his alter ego ability. So it's a nice little combo he's building up. We got a 2-cost upgrade, cryokinetic perception. So we have a superpower, Death Focus is be his best friend. Hero response, after you resolve your freeze ability, so that's his player ability that allows him to attack and throw a frostbite on somebody. Exhaust this card, draw a card. If that card is an ice trait, ready Iceman, so This is a beautiful way for you to kind of stack your deck to um, bring in some ice cards, attack, draw a card if it's another ice. Ready yourself. Unfortunately, this does exhaust, so it's not something that you could just combo consistently, which would have been nice. Looking at Valhalla for for Valkyrie, but this is a really cool card. Like this, especially if you get this super early, and to be able to get as much draw out of this as you can, get enough activations out of that Iceman. Like this, the longer that this is on the table, the more value that it will have as the game extends itself. So, really good card. It's a shame it's not an ice, but we'll deal with it. Snow Clone, 2 cost ally, can't thwart, but my man got 2 attack. Can I have upgrades attached so you can't Voltron them? Snow Clone takes -1 consequential damage after it attacks an enemy with Frostbite attached. That's really good. Especially if you're trying to extend the life of these particular snow clones. These will be really strong in both leadership as well as protection. I think with leadership there are ways to boost them up with inspired to allow them to be able to attack for a little bit more. And also with protection, if you I don't know how many of these he'll get. If he gets more than this one, then I mean that could be 4 damage a turn that he's dealing to different people. Or if you just have a way to consistently throw Frostbite on the villain every turn, then that however many snow clones you can have out, that's how much damage you can deal per turn on top of whatever you're dealing back to him if you're defending, right? Stuff like preemptive strike and electromagnetic cape, electromagnetic upgrade. I can't remember the name of it. Man, it's just been so long, man. But this is a really good card. I really like this ally. This will be one of the better signature allies for sure. Ice Slide, 2 cost upgrade, ice superpower. Iceman gets +1 thwart attack and defense and gains the aerial trait. That's ridiculous. After you change the alter ego form, shuffle this into your deck. So it don't even get discarded. It just goes back in the deck. That's ridiculous. So this might be one of the better hero specific or identity specific upgrades. That's really good. That's really good. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm here for it. Like if they're gonna allow it, I'm here for it. Power Belt, another 2 cost upgrade. Item tech, you get +3 hit points. Hero resource, exhaust power belt, generate a wild resource for an ice core. They're trying to make this man broken. That's ridiculous. Yeah, he's gonna be a fan favorite. Like already, he's gonna be a fan favorite. That's crazy. Man, his kid is that looks amazing. Oh, we got Shark Girl. Let's go. 2 cost ally. 0 thwart, 2 attack. While Shark Girl is attacking an enemy, she gets +1 for each upgrade attached to that enemy. She's X-Men. My boy Cyclops. This will be an easy add to his deck. It's not even not even a question. Super easy. That's an easy one. But that's kind of nice. I think she pairs extremely well with Cyclops. He's always going to have upgrades out there, trying to organize different attacks through his tactics. But I think that that's really good. And I mean, just in general, if we compare her to somebody like Marvel Boy, who have essentially the same exact cost and stat lines, but he can remove toughs with piercing if you drop another physical resource when you attack with him. But with her, it's just one power move on somebody. Essentially 2 for 3, and you can get a blocker. God forbid they have overkill, right? But this will be a good one. I really like that card. Suppressing fire, 0 cost upgrade. Speaking of tactics, attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. Hero interrupt. When you attack and defeat, attach minion, heal 2 damage from your hero. I mean, anybody that's doing a ton of attacking, this is an easy one. I can see Wolverine, Thor, Hulk, Valkyrie just having a field day with something like this. This is, I mean, even Cyclops at this point. Like, this is a really good card. Yeah, that's a cool tactic. One cost event, surprise move. When you make a basic attack against an enemy with an upgrade attached, you get +2 attack for this attack. If this hero defeats that enemy, ready your hero. Yep, just like the previous heroes I mentioned, um, aggression is doing some heavy lifting for some of these guys. But I think that this is a really cool. That's a really cool card. I like that because this is a way for you to get rid of some of those heinous minions that got like 7 HP, and when you do it just takes too many activations sometimes to get them off the board, or even using some of your better attack cards on them to get them off the board. And this might be a way for you to be able to deliver that final blow and still get another activation. Like that's really nice to have. Looking for trouble is the same one as the other one, different art, but you essentially discard cards until a minion comes out, and you get to remove 3 threat from the main scheme. This is a Thor special, or whoever wants a lot of minions, especially with Iceman. This will be a good one for him to have, to be able to distribute the wealth of frostbites that he has. So this is always a good one to have if you're into minion slaying, or maybe you feel like you can take on another minion to reduce the amount of threat from the main scheme to keep yourself from losing. It's always a solid card. Player side scheme. This is one of my favorite additions to Marvel Champions ever. With these player side schemes, Cable has jumped up to be one of my favorite heroes in the game. So having more of this, it just makes me happy. Let's see. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard power for an attack event and add it to their hand. Shuffle. Until the end of the phase, each attack event grants 1 additional damage. Yeah, so if you got a lot of the lower cost ones, or even just another attack card in your hand that you love to play, this could just change the whole mood of the game sometimes. Just having something like that. So I like this one. This is an easy one to get into the victory display, especially for somebody like Cable who banks on having a ton of these. Super easy one to have. You got Take That. 3 cost event. Attack, deal 7 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Instant. Yeah, this is super good for somebody like Iceman. Cyclops. That's all I can think of at the moment. Because that's pretty specific. There are some other cards you can combo off of this to make it a little bit better, but 3 for 7 is fine. It's a shame that is. I may have to look more into that. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Probably because I haven't played the game in Lord knows how long, but I'll think more on that. Like, it seemed pretty specific, and it may be more broken than I think it is, but we'll see. My man Sauron is entering the fray. So he's coming in with a 2/2, Brotherhood of Mutants. Search the encounter deck and discard power for the life drain attachment and reveal it. Then if he gets pulled as a boost, heal 3 damage from the activating enemy and give it a tough status card. Terrible. 6. It's whatever. This is not even a Nemesis. He's his own Nemesis set. Or excuse me, encounter set. So that's alright. Alright, I can roll with that. Life Drain. Attached to the minion with the highest printed hit points. It activates against you. If no minion activated this way, gain Surge. It's pretty normal. When attached, enemy attacks you. Take 2 damage and give the attacking enemy a tough status. That's pretty good. Okay. Eye of Sauron. When revealed, discard the top 2 cards of your deck for each resource icon revealed. Discarded this way, do the following. Then it's a bunch of nasty stuff that happens. Place it there, discard, deal a damage, exhaust. Man, that wild is nasty. That's going to be nasty for some people. Sauron lives. The player who defeated this game searches the encounter deck and discard power for Sauron, deals him to themselves as a face down encounter card. That's not bad. It's just an easy way to get him back. It's an easy way to get him back out there if he's not out there. Because I don't know. Oh no, so it's an encounter set. Yeah, so if you pull this out, it's a way for him to get back out if he's not already on the table. Crazy. Yeah, I think Iceman is going to be fire, man. I think he's going to be a pretty good. Um, he's going to rise up the ranks for a lot of people. He looks like a lot of fun. This looks like a hero that you can introduce to someone early in the game. So once they kind of get an understanding of the flow of the game, how some of the cards work and activate, the order of things. He's an easy one that brings a little bit of complexity to the game, but not overbearingly complex to where you can't find any easy combos to work with him, because I think he's going to be super strong in protection and aggression. So, which are two of my, well, they might be my favorite aspects in the game right now. So I think that he's just going to be super fun to play. I'm excited to see what the community comes up with when it comes to building decks for him, but I think he's just going to be super fun. He's somebody that you don't really have to spend too much time trying to build a deck. His kit alone is really good, so I mean, he's like Doctor Strange in the sense you can just throw a whole gray deck at him and he'll thrive. It doesn't matter because his deck is that good. So I can see him landing like in the A at the very least. He might slip in the S depending on if there's any other cards in his deck that haven't been presented in the article. But he's going to be super fun. But let me know what y'all think of him. I think he's going to be really good. Very strong right out the gate. We'll see how these villains start looking in Age of Apocalypse, because maybe he they may have things that just completely wreck his kit. But I think that he's right now. I'm just looking at what he had, and he's just so good. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Once again, this is Maurice back with another video, and y'all have a blessed day.